With the Snyder Cut of Justice League coming in 2021, many fans have been rewatching BVS and Man of Steel to get themselves hyped. At least, I know I have. Get his ass. Go. 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 Yeah! What's up? And with these movies getting more attention, I want to discuss why I think BVS deserves more respect. I've chosen BVS over Man of Steel because it gets shitted on so much more. When this movie came out, I was part of the minority that actually really liked it. Now, the opinion of many have changed on this film, but upon its initial release in 2016, general audiences and critics weren't really receptive to it, and many labeled it as the worst superhero movie of all time. Now, that's a really big assumption to make, considering if you look at the contenders for worst superhero movie of all time. Zack Snyder was really ahead of his time with the style, tone, and direction he took to characters, along with the questions he asked and explored the possibility of. These are some of the things that general audiences used to MCU movies didn't expect or were ready for, and for most, it gave them a negative reaction. But today, something like this is seen as special and different to break the mundane pattern of the superhero formula. But enough chit chat, let me go ahead and explain why Batman vs Superman deserves more respect.
I like those shoes.
Batfleck is a look at a version of Batman that hasn't been on the big screen before. This isn't a young Batman, this is an older Batman who's been at it for 20 years who fell from grace. He lost all sense of his code and morals. And that's one detail that people overlook when they watch this movie and has led to them hating this version of Batman. In the intro of the movie during the dream sequence, Batman sees his parents die, runs from the funeral, and falls into a hole where he's lifted up by bats, bringing him to the light. This is a metaphor for how being Batman saved him, but the dream ends with Batman saying,
"In the dream, they took me to the light. A beautiful lie."
That's Bruce admitting to his own fall from grace. Later on, Batman brands a criminal and Alfred says,
"New rules."
And Bruce replies,
"We're criminals, Alfred. We've always been criminals. Nothing's changed."
Oh, yes it has, sir.
It's acknowledging how much more extreme Batman has gotten when it comes to fighting criminals. When Alfred says,
That's how it starts, sir. The fever, the rage, the feeling of powerlessness that turns good men cruel.
he's talking about Bruce and how he's changing. Now, adding to the reasoning for this angrier Batman is that people in his life who matter to him are gone. His parents are dead, Robin is dead, and he's seen others go bad.
We've seen what promises are worth. How many good guys are left? How many stayed that way?
The no-killing debate is one that will probably never end.
Batman does not kill.
Yeah, I get it. Keep in mind, Batman never said it's okay to kill. He's more just riding the line. Like in this scene where he's just using the Batmobile to take out the criminals. Oh, sorry, I must have got my clips mixed up. With Batman riding the line of killing, it shows where he's at this point in his career. 20 years of fighting crime, no loved ones left. This isn't the Batman we know anymore. This is an old, angry shell of what Batman used to be, and one that I think is the most interesting to see. In addition to this new look and direction of Batman, I also think it gave us the most intimidating Batman we've ever seen on the big screen. This Batman is feared, and I like that because Batman should be something the criminals are actually afraid of. And this movie takes that a step further by even having the citizens afraid of him. This is a scary Batman and works well into the plot of Superman wanting to stop him. And finally, Ben Affleck plays a good Bruce Wayne. This party section was a great way to show how different Bruce acts in public. The way he talks and interacts with people, and even the scene when he stole information from the Russian. It's a great way to show how Bruce hides his identity from the public and puts on an act.
Wow. Pretty girl, bad habit. Don't quote me, all right? Daily Planet. Wait, do I own this one? Or is that the other guy?
Thought the bathroom was down here. I must have... That last martini was too many, I think.
BVS showed us a version of Batman that hasn't been on screen before, and one that I think is very interesting to explore and dissect. And by the end of the movie, after the death of Superman, Bruce plans to form the Justice League and become better.
I failed him in life. I won't fail him in death. Help me find the others like you.
Essentially going back to be the Batman he once was.
I like those shoes.
I get really annoyed when people say that Zack Snyder got Superman wrong in this movie, because just like Batman, this is a version of the character not seen before on the big screen. This movie raises the question of how would the real world react to Superman, and how would that affect him? This movie and Man of Steel attempt to humanize the character of Superman. The reason Superman seems very down and moody in this film is because the whole world is constantly questioning him. They want to know what he stands for, what's his intentions, and everything he does is being judged. This type of pressure of constantly having everything you do be monitored and commented on will be enough to wear anybody down. And this is illustrated through the media in the movie, filling in as the world's reaction to him existing. And we see this take its toll on Superman, to the point where he's conflicted about even still doing it.
All this time, I've been living my life the way my father saw it. Righting wrongs for a ghost. thinking I'm here to do good. Superman was never real. Just the dream of a farmer from Kansas.
Sure, maybe a few more upbeat scenes like with Lois in the bathtub would be nice, but overall, I like it the way it is. Now, in contrast to Batman, he's new to being a hero. This isn't the Superman we know yet. This is a transition period. Between Man of Steel and BVS, this is him becoming the Superman we're used to seeing. And this is a world that isn't accepting of him yet. This is a more realistic take on how the real world will react to someone like Superman existing. And at the end of the movie, when he sacrifices himself to save everyone, that's when the world actually accepts him. And due to his sacrifice, the world becomes more accepting of these superpowered beings living among them. The way I always looked at the portrayals of these characters is like this. This isn't the Batman we know anymore, and this is not the Superman we know yet. These characters are at two different points in their life than we're used to seeing, and that's one of the main reasons I love these versions of the characters. It's something different and very interesting to explore.
I like those shoes.
Warner Brothers really put a lot of pressure on Zack. Not only did he have to start the DCEU with Man of Steel, but they gave him the task of introducing Batman, Wonder Woman, and the rest of the Justice League in one movie, basically building the extended universe by himself. And all things considered, I think he did a really good job introducing all these characters. Sure, I would have loved to see the solo movies before they did the Justice League one, but as it is, I think the introductions were done very well. It's worked into the plot as information that Bruce stole from Lex Luthor. And since Luthor is obsessed over Superman, it would make sense that he would look and see if more beings like him exist, if there are more superpowered beings or metahumans out there. Now, could this all have been just an end credit scene? Sure, but as it is, I think it works, and I applaud Zack because I probably couldn't think of a way to introduce 4 new characters for future movies. Now, I could go on and on about a bunch of different things that I personally love about this movie, but I'm just going to end it here. Those are just some of the main things I think the film did well, and it deserves more credit and praise as opposed to the hate that it got. This film set out to try something different, and in my opinion, it succeeded. And it's great to see over the last couple years people's opinion change on this film, and even people who don't like the movie at least respect what it was going for. But that's all I gotta say about BVS for now. Go ahead and leave a comment and let me know what you think. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like on it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Tex, and I'll catch you next time.